Hello, good friend.
Well, well, well. If it isn't
Well,
the
well,
old tool man. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
what did I do now? What's the problem now? It seems like everybody here on the network's got beef with me after this week. I call in to add odds. I almost get cussed out, and then the question takes off. I listen to We Need Wrestling, and then I get cussed out for throwing Brett under the bus, which I'm not necessarily throwing him under the bus. And then I'm being a jam up guy. I'm doubling down, and then I get yelled at for that. What am I supposed to do?
Now, right off the bat, I want to ask you, how do you feel about your quarterback of one season, Sam Howell, getting traded to the Seahawks, man, to be a backup? How do you feel about that?
I have asked my Siri multiple times to play "Miss My Homies" by Master P. We are very sad here in the Commanders delegation. Uh, Sam Howell was in fact that dog. Uh, the quarterback for the most part of my 2023 fantasy football championship winning team. He was not the quarterback at the end. He was the quarterback for the majority, which was the part of time in which we sucked.
Whether he
So
was your starting quarterback for 4 weeks,
more than that,
6 weeks, 10 weeks,
pretty much.
just the right number to get you to the championship.
That's right. That's right. He was there. Best of luck to him in Seattle. Uh, you're gonna be riding the bench. Gino ain't losing that job. You better hope for
He'll
injury.
definitely he'll definitely play. Gino will get injured, or Gino will have a half where he just can't get anything going. As a Geno Smith fantasy football owner for the last 3 years, um, that's just what Gino does. So Sam's gonna play a little bit, not a lot of it again, unless there's an injury that takes Gino out for a long period of time. But then next year, man, I think he could play while they maybe bottom out. It's weird because the rest of the team should be like hitting their prime and they have everything but quarterback answered going
Mm-hmm.
forward. So it's they're already hitting the window from the Russell Wilson trade, which is a topic for another time. But you guys want to you're taking a quarterback at 2. I've seen more rumblings, and after talking to Brett from We Need Wrestling, shout out Brett. You guys might take Jaden Daniels.
Oh, oh.
It's either him or Drake May.
I know it's gonna be one of those two. I mean, I did say that if we were gonna take a quarterback, I didn't want Caleb Williams. I did say
It's
give me
insane.
Drake. I did say give me Drake May.
Okay,
Um,
it's insane.
it is. I'm just not. I don't know what it is about Caleb Williams.
You know what it is about Caleb Williams? Caleb Williams is the first stud prospect to come out of the NIL era.
Yeah, yeah. He just seems. This is gonna sound really crazy as like a knock on a kid. He just seems too polished right now. And I feel as though if you're this polished this early, there is no room for you to grow. You have already maxed out in your growth at a college level. And then you're going to hit the pros. You're going to try to do all your college stuff. It ain't going to work.
It might be able to work because they got the squad now in Chicago. Not that I'm a Chicago Bears truther by any means, but they were a 7-win team with pretty much bad quarterback play for more than for the first half of the season. So they could do a little something, man. But I guess that's a little mini episode of emergency sports talk, I guess.
Has that happened? Is
Um,
that actually coming?
it hasn't happened, but maybe we should get the band together and do a little post free agency uh, edition. I don't know. What do the people want?
I mean, of course they will. It just, I don't know. Can the ceasefire between you and Vansky hold long enough?
There's no shots. What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's just some people be holding on to their guns and clutching their pearls, and I don't know, man. Y'all be
No, there's no
fine.
shots.
I know there wasn't no shots.
No, Steelers got Russ.
And then
I'm
they
gonna
got
miss him in the division.
and then they got rid of Kenny by God Pickett.
It's another hot button topic in the soon to be named network Discord.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and subscribe to the Ad Odds Patreon for access to that. I don't know, or maybe slip me $20 on the side. Who knows?
Hey. Favored nations, brother. We got to get it. I saw Vansky saying he needs Final Wrestling Place start going 3 hours. Like, no, now that we got the Hayabusa money before Hayabusa closed down. Boy, doesn't that just smell like insurance fraud?
It does. I feel like
we
he set up shop just long enough to meet his baseline dates and then burn the place down to collect the insurance money.
But then also us claiming favored nations on Hayabusa while they are the highest grossing show, getting that rate, and then they close down and that money comes off the books, but we're still good for the old Hayabusa rate, not the new one of $0.
That's right. We don't get a pay dump just because Hayabusa may or may not be any longer.
Look, if another podcast needs to step up and be the fever dream of the soon-to-be-named network, it could be us.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty old. I don't think I got it in me, but
I know. Welcome to Final Wrestling Place. I'm Tim.
I'm still Marcus.
And
you're still sick.
What?
And you're still sick or no?
No, I'm not sick.
You're good. Okay, you're healthy. You're back.
I am healthy. I'm good. Nothing like a good case of rest and relaxation will get you. I'm just let's just say I timed my medicine better today than I did last time. And I may have had like a nice 3-hour nap before the pod today. Don't ask don't ask what time we're recording right now.
We should have done a giveaway last week where if you could pinpoint exactly when Mr. Tim's medicine kicked in, we send you like an action figure or something.
Oh my goodness. Like, I'm not trying to give up no figs. I'm just trying to open figs. That's all.
I probably got a fig I could spare. It's a random one though. There's no choice. You just get a random fig, you know? Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd be giving away this crappy Hangman page. I got the crappy Hangman with like the empty pitcher in the cup.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't like it. I have all these other figs I haven't put on the wall yet. I need to get a couple more fig defenders. I got 3 ultimates I got to put on the wall. My cane.
Speaking of ultimates, reversed order.
Sure.
Do you have any weekly purchases?
Yes. Weekly purchases indeed. I believe we both purchased the Coliseum Collection Heart Foundation. I will make the vow right here, right now. If I get the chase, I will give you the chase.
It's very kind of you. Thank you.
The chase is just the card.
Black card.
What now?
I really do want the black card.
Oh,
I want the black card. Yeah.
Okay. If I get it, it's yours.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm debating on opening these.
They look pretty sweet, right?
They do look really effing sweet.
Yeah, they do look good. I love the 2 different sets of tag titles. That's cool. Yeah,
both versions
just like it. Good stuff.
Do both versions come with both titles?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you get the classic LJN belts, like brown belts, and then you get the classic WWF tag titles.
Right.
Excuse me, World Tag Team titles.
They're the WWF tag team titles.
Yeah. WWF World Tag Team titles.
Yes. Even though they did not look like the World Tag Team titles, and those titles became the WWE tag titles, but with a fresh painted coat.
I'm curious to look at the belts when they come, because what that Hart Foundation is supposed to be is like the 87 run of Hart Foundation, which would be with are they? Because now I'm thinking they got the black top with the pink bottoms, and that would be the 90 version of the Hart Foundation.
No, because
Now I gotta look real quick.
DJ did the slew thing, and this is
Okay.
definitely Stand Back Heart Foundation.
Okay. All right, so then they need to come with the classic like silver and gold WWF tag team titles.
Yeah, I think they do. Is there ever been anything more confusing than tracking the lineage of the WWE tag team titles?
Yeah, it can be a tough task, not for the faint of heart.
It's definitely not. If you've
I feel like
tried,
it's one of those things. Once you've got it, you got it.
yeah, it's tough. It is tough to track, but once you get it,
you got it. Good.
yeah. Bazinga.
All right, so weekly purchases. Top half the show. Love that.
Do you have anything to plug?
No, surprising, nothing to plug.
Well, we'll plug early now. We've completely changed the show, but we are always on the Soon to Be Named Network, soon-to-be-named-network.com, soon-to-be-named-network.tumblr.com. It's your home for this and so many other podcasts, including but not limited to our wrestling offerings. If At Odds Wrestling with Joe and Adam, and We Need Wrestling with DJ and Brett. All three of our wrestling podcasts can be found online on YouTube, as well as on the network website proper. So check out your podcast there. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell for all of those. Post every week. Of course, the We Need Wrestling guys, they have the Terry Funk moment of the week. A little bit extra, so to speak. But, of course, follow us on social media at TNM Shows on Twitter, at Not the Tool Man for me, the Wrestling Speakeasy for Marcus. If you know, you know. We have an interesting topic to discuss today on the show proper. Yeah. Pulled directly. Go ahead.
Much like 1994 and 1995 canned studio raw commentary. Got to be topical, pal.
That's right. So we're plucking directly from the headlines of Elon Musk's latest failure X, Twitter rather, on a question that we've all kind of answered in our own, about a certain Mount Rushmore. Marcus, you want to elaborate?
Yeah. Absolutely. Kind of an engagement farming tweet put out by AJ Kirsch. And I guess it's working because we're here talking about it. I had fun talking about it with a couple people online, and I figured it might be fun to take onto the pod. So let's talk about it. The question is, who is on your Mount Rushmore of ECW? And of course, a lot of people had fun right away with saying, like, Marcus Corvon, Test, John Morrison, yada, yada, yada. I believe in the spirit of the question was about the ECW that lost a lot of money. But that's where we come in because we're hardcore. We'll take both of them.
That's right.
So we're going to give you a Mount Rushmore of ECW, and then we're going to give you a Mount Rushmore of WWECW / the only ECW that made any money.
That's right.
And then, Mr. Tim,
what now?
We are going to get deep in the weeds, and we're going to we're going to collaborate on making the ultimate Mount Rushmore of ECW / the ones that did and didn't make money.
That sounds tremendous. I think we can easily start this with a layup on both lists. Rob Van Dam.
Without question. Rob Van Dam, slam dunk. Yeah, it's like putting George Washington on. I think
Right.
George Washington's on Mount Rushmore. I'm not sure.
He is, I think.
Okay.
It's
Easy.
Washington, Lincoln, Jefferson, and Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay. Um, RVD easily on the list. No doubt about it. I think he embodies ECW the most, if you're asking me, both the original and the one that made money.
The Bodies era.
Yeah. So yeah, we're both in agreement on RVD. Etchemin Stone, #1 across both Mount Rushmores.
For sure, for sure. What do you have for next up for either Mount Rushmore?
All right. So going with the original ECW, I'm gonna throw a name out here. The human suplex machine himself, Taz.
The Red Hook
1Z.
Rocket. Yeah, Taz for sure. Okay, so here's the crazy part, right? Couldn't he also go on both?
Ooh, because of commentary, which
Because
was
of
pretty good.
commentary. I don't think Taz's best work was in the ECW era.
It wasn't, unfortunately.
So I wouldn't want to memorialize that version of Taz. I would much rather memorialize the SmackDown 6 Taz or the Aces and Eights Taz or the Taz we have right now. Today, as of print, March 2024.
Yeah, ECW Taz is probably the weakest of Taz commentary stints, but it's probably hard doing live commentary 10:30 at night on a Tuesday night in a half-empty arena with the lights out.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to do ECW tape. So, all right. So I've got Taz. You've got Taz as well.
Yeah, I will definitely put
All right.
Taz on the ECW original Mount Rushmore.
All right. Next up, I'm gonna spit out both people for my. Well, no, actually, I'll bounce over to the WWE ECW. I've got Christian.
Okay. Yeah, I can see Christian for this. He was probably your most decorated ECW champion at the time. This run definitely revitalized him to get to that really sweet era of Christian, the one more match Randy special. But we got that through the hard work he did in ECW. So yeah, I'm absolutely here for WWE ECW Christian making that Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, and you could tell they always wanted a steady veteran hand at the top of the roster that they could run with, or that they could have high profile like non-title feuds with. It was supposed to be, Kurt Angle, supposed to be Chris Benoit. And it took a couple years, but they finally found their dude with Christian.
Right. Because we had to rotate through some muck with John Morrison and then CM Punk, Chavo Guerrero, Punk again,
Gristle,
Big Show, Bob Lashley.
Yeah, a lot of names.
Big Show would have worked for sure. I think. Well,
Maybe.
Big Show
Maybe
was
we'll talk
early
about him
on in
in a
the
little bit.
ECW part. Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about the Big Sloan a little bit.
Maybe.
But we both got Christian on the ECW that made money, Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
All right. So we got RVD on both. We got Christian in the WWE ECW one, and we got Taz in the original. So this is where I'm gonna drop a double doozy here. But maybe we'll see what compromise we're gonna reach. Taking up 2 spots, I have 1996 to 1999, Shane Douglas. Where he's super juiced up, body's falling apart, he's way too big.
Big elbow
But this
brace.
is the franchise.
Okay.
This is the guy screaming, Brian Pillman. I want the franchise Shane Douglas. It's this era Shane Douglas for me. This is the franchise. This is the he's the measuring stick. He's the paradigm shifter, if you will. Um, he sets the table. He gives out the blueprint for what is still a very popular, I guess character reset. Triple H, Jeff Jarrett. There's been other guys, but like in that same time period, they're both trying and borrowing very liberally from Shane Douglas and from the franchise character. Um, whether it's with the blonde hair, whether it's with being super juiced up. Well, not Jeff Jarrett, of course. He just looked great. Did you know he just now got a personal trainer in like the last year and a half?
Yeah, kind of crazy, right?
Insane what it's done to him. Yeah, love Double J. Um, you know, dropping F bombs a lot, yelling. Um, and he's got the chick, which brings me to Francine taking up spot number 4 on my Mount Rushmore. The more that I get into ECW and like give things an occasional watch and like pay like closer attention to clips online, like man, Francine's like I don't think you could have the promotion without her. And it's kind of crazy, but like she's in a lot of these moments, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe she is just standing next to Shane Douglas or she's running interference, but like she's always there in a big spot. And I don't think I could make a Mount Rushmore without Francine. But that's just me. That's me today. If if you want to include like Francine as like a smaller head on the Mount Rushmore attached to Shane Douglas and open up another spot, I'm here for it. But on my list, I have Francine occupying her own spot.
See, it's I'm in a predicament now where I'm fighting my heart and my head, where I know Shane Douglas and Francine deserve to be on Mount Rushmore, but they ain't on my Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Um, Crappily, the guys that are on my Mount Rushmore are it's me pulling into the recesses of when I enjoyed ECW. And while they're not necessarily, or at least one of them is not one of my favorite people now, uh, it's hard to talk original ECW and not mention Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys.
Uh, those D Dudleys.
Yeah, like it's tough for me, right? I was a huge Dudley Boys stan. Uh, I was watching the ECW on TNN like religiously during that time period, and actually like remembering watching the Dudley Boys last episode of TV live as it was happening. Oh, crazy. And then of course they come to WWF, and so it's a little different. But for me, Bubba Ray and Devon absolutely belong on a Mount Rushmore for the originals. But I think there's others too that we can talk about and entertain that could knock off one or either of those, right?
Yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 other names here. I'll just run down them in the order I wrote them in. I got Sabu,
Sabu's on the short list.
Sandman,
Sandy's on there.
Tom Dreamer,
Tom Dreamer. Yep.
Terry Funk,
4 for 4, baby.
and the boss, Raven.
So there's Raven and there's a 6th.
Okay, who else am I missing?
Paulie.
Okay.
Because like without Paulie really does kind of set that blueprint for a lot of indie promotions in the future. of just like the very well known, well pronounced Booker guy in charge, and kind of the peel away curtain aspect of it.
Right, for better or for worse, he sets the template for what a lot of promoters try to be, which is promoter, showrunner, booker, talent relations, uh, and owner. So like trying to do 5 roles in one, and maybe you could do one of those really well.
Or
Maybe you could do 2 of
unfortunately,
those really well.
like the only kind of people that can do it are guys like Paul. And even then, Heyman could only do it for a sustained amount of time.
Wasn't so good at the business part.
Hey,
Not so great at the talent relations part.
hey. People kept coming in, right?
I was gonna say for better or for worse.
Yeah.
It's a hat that it's many hats that he tried to wear. And it was a balancing act. And yeah.
Either way, he rode the lightning bolt from 93 to 01, but really didn't like ride the wave until like 96 through 99, like end of 95.
Probably 95. I think Joe will let us know 95. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of names are to consider. So I think maybe we can come back to them.
For sure. Yeah.
Hammer them out.
Yep.
Let's jump over to the WWE ECW list. Let's look at, for number 3 on the list, CM Punk.
Yeah. I hate it. I love Phil. But like, for me, for ECW, he was really like their first big baby face. He was their first call up, really. He did have a really a longer tenure in ECW than people want to give him credit for, or if people want to acknowledge. There's probably a lot of people who are like, well, he's in ECW for a little bit, and then the Survivor Series things happen, and he gets called up. It's like, nah, he's still in ECW after that.
There for like 3 years. He was there for a long time.
He was there for a long time. He didn't get called up until a draft. Actually, no. Wasn't he a part of ECW when he won the Money in the Bank and cashed in on?
Batista, yeah. So it's 08.
So
yeah, he was there for 2 years.
Right. So either way, I can see Punk maybe making that list.
So for me, Punk fills the spot on the list that, like, I guess the spirit of ECW always tried to, I guess, like, accomplish with guys like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, to let like Rey Mysterio, showcase these guys, give a home to these guys who maybe the national promotions don't want to or hesitant to, and need to like see it first, or these guys like need to get themselves hot,
Right.
And then they get the stage to really show what they can do on a national level and a worldwide scale. And I felt like Punk kind of filled that. He's the guy that, oh well, he'll never, he kind of works at WWE style, but he'll never make it to WWE. The look, the whatever. But he goes to ECW and he like gives proof of concept, and he does it. And as we said, he ends up winning Money in the Bank and twice, and cashes in both times and become world champ. And it's really the second time where he cashes in that like he really takes off and really see the CM Punk that was of Ring of Honor 2004, 2005. But
who did Punk cash in on the second time?
The first time he cashes in on Edge, the second time he cashes in on Jeff Hardy right after Jeff Hardy beats Edge.
That's right.
That's at Extreme Rules 2009.
That's right, Jeff Hardy.
For
some reason, and the first one was Edge, and the reason I remember Batista is because Batista beat up Edge.
Right.
Okay. Just trying to realize why I spoke out of turn when talking about the money in the bank cash in.
All right. So we got Mr. Phil from Chicago, spot number 3.
Yep.
All right. Spot number 4, I don't have anybody committed, but I've got 3 names here. And you said
Okay.
them earlier. Bob Lashley,
Okay.
The Big Show,
Okay.
and Perk Angle.
So my problem with both Perk Angle and Big Show and Bob Lashley too, their time in ECW is very short. Very short. I mean, Kurt's down there for what, a couple of months?
A couple weeks.
Right. I'm overestimating, but like as soon as he goes down there, it's the infamous, "Oh, we need you to go to rehab. I'll just sit by myself quietly. Don't worry about me. Just give me my release." And they give it to him. And then he shows up on TNA and has a 10+ year career in TNA. Yeah. Which maybe more makes his case for being on the TNA Mount Rushmore than the ECW one. If any of them, probably Bob Lashley. I would say, like, if any of them, Bob.
Okay. Is there anybody that I'm leaving off the list of the WWE ECW that immediately jumps out in your mind? Like, how'd you leave them off the list?
If you're gonna do if you're gonna do a female, Kelly.
So I had the thought of Kelly, but I didn't put her down. So I will put her down now.
Kelly.
Kelly.
A part of Extreme Expose. Where if we maybe want to put a 3-in-1 deal and do Extreme Expose, we could do a personal favor. We could put Balls Mahoney on the end of it, but only him dressed up like a blackjack dealer saying someone is going to get naked. That it's an just like you have a very specific version of franchise, so too do we have a very specific explicit version of Balls Mahoney, of him dressed like a card shark
with the visor
gimmick. Tonight somebody is going to get naked. It's on I think it's still on Peacock.
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh man, it is the Extreme. What is it called? Extreme Hold'em or something like that.
It wasn't Extreme Texas Hold'em, but Extreme Strip Poker or something.
Extreme Strip Poker. That's what it was. It was a double extreme, right? But who else? Big Zeke, Matt Hardy.
Big Zeke, Matt Hardy, Chavo,
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry for
Big Daddy V.
Mark Henry for a bit.
Calling all cars.
Hardcore Holly.
Yeah, but again, like if I'm picking out like Bob Lashley and Big Show, Mark Henry kind of fits in that list, or not Mark Henry. Bob Holly's also in that list of like short run ECW dudes. Selfishly, I want to say Elijah Burke, but I can't.
Wasn't there that long.
No, sadly.
Broski.
It is tough. Jackie Swaggart.
Also not there for that long, no.
Yeah.
Sheamus, not there for that long.
Not there for long at all. I think like the people
Kofi Johnson Kingston.
It's
not there for that long.
It's maybe Matt Hardy. Or is it Tom Dreamer? Tom Dreamer there since the beginning, holds it down, gets a title run at the very end, has to feud with Great Khali. Yuck.
Great Khali says.
Like Tom Dreamer's a choice. Not the best choice, but it's a choice.
A choice I don't want to make.
Right. It's tough because it's like there, at least on the WWE ECW side, it's like a slam dunk 3, right? Like it's RVD, it's
Christian.
Christian,
It's CM Punk.
it's CM Punk, like
Miz and Morrison.
maybe Miz and Morrison. But I think the problem with picking them is that there was not an ECW tag team title, and like they were sharing relations with the WWE tag team titles, the
They were
SmackDown
ECW
titles.
guys that won the SmackDown tags, the WWE tag team titles.
Right.
That's how they got them on both shows.
Right. I'm inclined to say Matt Hardy.
Was Boogeyman in ECW?
I think he was for a cup of coffee. He would have at least, would he have been in that trick or treat fight, the Monsters Ball?
I don't think he was, unfortunately.
It was Big Daddy V. It was the Great Khali says. It was Test. And it was like Lonnie Brown. Sorry, Marcus Corvon.
No, it was Big Daddy V. It was the Big Show.
It
was Kane
and Bob Lashley
and Mark Henry.
Okay. You're going down, down, down. All
right, so ECW. All right, so Boogeyman got drafted to the ECW brand on the June 11th, 2007 edition of Raw. Defeats Matt Striker the next day. He's got a feud with Matt Striker in July. Gets attacked by Big Daddy V. He's off TV till the end of the month. That's right. That's where he gets the fresh coat of paint. Right. Oh, he teams with CM Punk at Saturday Night's Main Event that August. Saturday Night's Main Event 35, taking on Morrison and Big Daddy V. Boogie is in a fatal 4-way match for a number 1 contendership, but Punk wins. Oh, and then Boogeyman tears his calf in September. He's on like a low-key heater. Yo, this Boogeyman run, it's kind of sneaky good. Yeah, tears a calf. It comes back in October, takes no time off. That dude rocks. Does some stuff with Knoxville and Pontius. What else we got? Comes back. He's off TV for a couple weeks. Comes back in November. And dang, they released him before WrestleMania. Dude, Boogeyman could have won. He could have been. They released him right before WrestleMania 25. That's a bummer.
What about Vince McMahon?
Do-rag Vince.
Trying to go through the list of all these guys.
It's probably Bob Lashley, right?
He's not there that long.
He's not there that long, but he has a good impact. He wins the chamber at the worst ever pay-per-view, and he does battle the billionaires, and he wins the belt back, and then he gets drafted, switched over to Raw, and then he's like, I quit.
He vacates the title, yeah.
And then he leaves the promotion. He's like, I'm out of here.
Right.
You guys took me away from ECW. I quit.
No, well, he has that banger of a match with John Cena.
Right.
And then he's
gone.
And
then, like, I feel like him and Mr. Kennedy both worked like a double, like, loser leaves town match. Because, like, I remember there's a Raw where, like, they wrestle each other. And it's like, okay, these guys are gonna feud. They just like took two of SmackDown's best dudes and they're doing like a lower mid card feud on Raw. And like both dudes like get hurt or something like that. And, like Lashley quits and Kennedy's hurt.
That sounds right. That
It's a
sounds
shame
very
they
much
didn't
like
put
real
Mr.
life.
Kennedy in ECW because Mr. Kennedy probably would have done really well in ECW.
Yeah, he would have. For
All right, we
sure.
got to come to a decision on
We do.
last spot.
Bob Lashley.
All right, it's Bob Lashley.
Okay.
I'm
So now
writing it down.
we gotta go back to the original ECW.
Okay.
We've got Rob Van Dam. We've got Taz.
Hmm.
New Jack. Terry Funk.
Put him. New Jack, Heyman, Funk, Raven, Dreamer, Sandman, Sabu, Dudley's. I will pair Francine with Douglas. That package as one. I'm gonna fight for Shane Douglas to be on the list. I don't think you can have ECW without the franchise.
If
And
that's
he is
how
the
we're
guy that
basing it, if that's how we're
he could
basing it,
have worked anywhere, and he did for a bit, and then he always came back, and he always chose to come back. So for
then
me, it's the franchise.
for me, the Mount Rushmore is RVD, Taz, Douglas, Funk.
Terry Funk, I smashed your knee to Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
That's the
Terry
four.
Funk, put him on the list. All right.
If you're saying wouldn't be there without them, that it screams Terry Funk.
All right. So we got ECW, RVD, franchise Shane Douglas with Francine, Taz, and Terry Funk. WWE ECW, we have RVD, Christian, CM Punk, and Bob Lashley. So it's time to make our Ultimate Edition Mount Rushmore of ECWWECW.
Yes.
All right.
Is it disrespectful to put Rob Van Dam on twice?
Third time, he has to. He's got an automatic buy by being on both lists. So RVD is on.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Rob Van Dam, original Rob Van Dam makes new Mount Rushmore, and Ultimate WWE ECW Rob Van Dam makes Mount Rushmore, and there's two Rob Van Dams on the one Ultimate Rushmore.
This is like if they were going to put FDR in that mountain gimmick. Like, which term do you select? Because he's got like 4 of them.
Right.
If I'm taking an RVD, I'm taking ECW original RVD to be in. Is Taz a shoo-in?
No.
You don't think so? Okay.
Just thinking about it, it's Rob Van Dam, it's Christian, it's Shane Douglas, and it's Bob Lashley. If you're not letting me pick both Rob Van Dams, then it would have been Rob Van Dam and Christian and Shane Douglas and Rob Van Dam.
Okay. I'm with you on RVD. I'm with you with Christian. I'm with you on Shane Douglas. I'm torn between Lashley and CM Punk. They're both champion. Lashley has a more immediate impact.
Mm-hmm.
He does more slow burn.
He does more cool stuff as champ.
He does do more cool stuff. He goes through the cage. Yeah, it's Bob Lashley.
CM Punk dresses up like a mariachi.
And he throws Chavo in
the Gulf of Mexico.
The sound or whatever that was. Was it? Oh yeah, it was the Gulf of Mexico. Is that what it was?
The Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. That's our
Yeah,
list, man.
that's a
So to
list.
recap real quick,
Run it down.
ECW, we got RVD, Shane Douglas with Francine, Taz, and Terry Funk. From WWECW, we have Rob Van Dam, Christian, CM Punk, and Bob Lashley. And then from ECW, WECW, it is RVD, Christian, the franchise with Francine, and Big Bobby Lashley.
Of course, let us know what we got wrong in the comments section on YouTube. That goes for all you guys. If you're listening to this in another podcast, go over to the YouTube, leave a comment, be a pal, or hit us up on social media, or check us out in the Soon to Be Named Network Discord. Love to hear your feedback on our list, see where we got it wrong, where we got it right, and moving forward. Is anything that rocked for you this week?
What rocked for me? Watched Dynamite this week, right? And Dynamite was this the week, the new set, or was that last week? That was last week, right? That was last week.
This week was CEO.
Yeah, that's right.
CEO.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that did not rock for me. But Okada and Eddie Kingston crossing
Keep it rolling.
paths.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping it going. That rocked. I love that for Eddie. Love that for Okada. And The Rock and his Twitter promos. I know they may not be for some, but you can count me as one of the millions and millions of The Rock's fans. I like The Rock's Twitter promos.
Yeah, man. I don't like that he's necessarily repeating himself on television and on social media. But here's what really rocked for me. Marcus, The Rock has finally evolved into the final boss. And only a final boss can come out to the greatest wrestling theme in this or any generation. The 03 Hollywood Rock theme is back. And if I know anything, it doesn't matter what happens in Act 1 or Act 2. Okay? All that matters is what happens in Act 3. Cody, off is the direction you can F. Down is the direction you can sit. And I'm here
Nothing is what you can do and like it.
That's right. I love The Rock right now. Is it kind of weird that The Rock just boosted Samoa Joe's final boss thing?
What can I say except you're welcome?
Like even Samoan Joe, not to be confused with like even the non-Anawai is donating things to the Anawai tribe.
Samoa Joe is the final boss of that side of the Samoans in wrestling. And then The Rock is the final boss of all the other Samoans that are
So what you're saying is that the Anawai family sent the Arn Anderson of the family over. Not really family. If they're all Ric Flair, he's an Anderson. They're related.
Well, here's what I know. Here's what I know is that the final boss has a CEO on his brand. So maybe they got to sort that out and get that figured out first. I do know that The Rock
is
the people's champ.
I
do know that The Rock has a seat at the board. The Rock has full ownership of all things related to The Rock.
That's right.
And that means The Rock is the boss.
That's right. The Rock is on top of things. I'm just so excited. I hope I hope I hear it. That's all I gotta
Yeah.
say.
I didn't know if we want to talk about it. Do we want to talk about it?
I'm gonna talk about it. I left
Let's
off
talk about
something
it.
during weekly purchases.
You sure did, pal. Because
Yeah.
holy smokes.
Marcus and I and my good friend CJ, we're going to WrestleMania night 2. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a good time, and it's gonna be even better when I cry like a baby when Hollywood Rock's music hits, and I can die a happy man. That's all that matters. I'm gonna see Tribal Chief. I'm gonna hear the Rock's Hollywood theme. I'm gonna do the Whoa with Cody. Everything else is just whatever.
You're gonna be woeing all right when he smashes and stacks
Hey, look,
Cody Rhodes.
there are going to be at least two happy woes for WrestleMania because he does 2 of them on the ride down to the ring. But yeah, I'm very excited for WrestleMania. WrestleMania night 2, WrestleMania Sunday. I got to figure out logistics for how we're gonna watch night 1. So either way, we'll figure it out. Make it work. But yeah, WrestleMania, baby. We went
We're
to
going,
20. We did 29. And now,
yeah, we did 29, and now even better, running it back when we're 40.
That's right. We're a little older now. We can't do the nosebleeds like we used to anymore. We can't sit up in the. We cannot sit up in the hollows of MetLife Stadium anymore, freezing to death, drinking hot chocolate, and falling asleep to Triple H and Brock Lesnar.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Man, that might be the worst match I've ever seen live.
It got cold, and the match was so slow, and there was nothing exciting, and we're all just waiting for The Rock to come out.
Right?
And we'd already seen Mr. Undertaker
and CM Punk, and we had the live CM Punk concert, and we had the Puff Daddy concert. And I know we can't talk about Puff Daddy right now, but that was cool.
And we knew that like Ziggler wasn't cashing in.
All I hope, here's what I hope, okay? I hope that Pam and Io Sky only happen on night 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need to be in the building with you as you freak out when Pam comes out to Paramore. And it's a live playing.
Cry. I'm gonna cry.
Because doesn't Bailey want Misery Business?
I can't remember the song that Bailey said. I know Paramore responded.
They said yeah.
They said yeah, but I can't remember. I think they said what the song was, and they said yeah. And I don't think it was Misery Business. I'd have to go back and watch the clip though.
Because
if it's Misery Business,
Pam asks for a song.
You're gonna see 15-year-old, teenage schoolgirl Marcus like jump out of my soul.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ready.
So
I remember that child.
Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be
on one.
I hope it happens night 2. I hope it happens night 2.
I don't think it does because both of the men's titles are night 1, which means both of the ladies' titles are gonna be, or both of the men's titles are night 2. So the women's title is gonna be night 1. Both women's titles are gonna be night 1.
I didn't know they announced that. So Seth is defending.
Well,
the title.
It's under my impression because the tag match is happening night 1.
Okay, so he probably opens the show with the gotcha. Okay,
I'm thinking both titles are on night 2.
That makes sense. Yeah, because I was crazy thinking that like they do the tag match like earlier in night 1. Like
that's
maybe they even start the show. Okay.
The tag match main event's night 1.
Yeah.
Roman and Cody are going to headline both nights of WrestleMania. Crazy.
Internet can cry about it.
Cody crybabies.
It should count as two WrestleMania main events for the big dog, Roman Reigns.
Oh, it should. It should absolutely. It does.
Which I think that'll make him. I think even without doing the double one this year, I think Roman has headlined, main event in more WrestleManias than anybody else.
Hulk did 1 through 9.
1 through 8.
No.
9 was headlined by Brett and Yoko.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
Last match. Hulkster, brother.
And that never happened.
I didn't see Vince McMahon. I didn't see Vince McMahon hug Bret Hart in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania 9.
He had salt in his eyes. He was backstage
crying
in the
about
medical
it.
area with Sensational Sherry. Both getting their injuries from the night taken care of.
Sure.
All right. So let's give Hogan 1 through 9.
Yeah.
Brett doesn't have it. Austin doesn't have it.
Shawn doesn't have it. Triple H doesn't have it.
Shawn doesn't have it. Mr. Undertaker doesn't have it.
No.
Roman has. Cena might come close, right? Cena has
23,
22, 23.
Not 24. Not
27.
25.
27, 28, 29. He's got 5.
That's it. Oh,
That's
WrestleMania Night 2. WrestleMania 36. Was the Firefly Funhouse match the main event?
Was not.
It was Drew and Braun, right?
Drew and Lesnar.
Drew and Lesnar.
And then Taker and AJ.
They headlined night 1.
Yeah. So let's give Cena 5. Roman has 31, 32,
33.
33.
Off 34.
No, it's 34. That's him and
Brock again.
That's him and Brock again. Yeah.
So he's off at 35.
He wrestles Drew in the middle of the show at 35.
That's right. So that was his comeback.
Yeah. So he 35 and 36. He doesn't main event. Supposed to main event, but doesn't main event 36. But then main events
37,
38,
39,
and 40.
31, 32, 33.
That's 8.
30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 37, 38, 39. That makes 8. So 40 will put him at 10, which will break Hulk for most main events in WrestleMania history.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And the crazy thing about WrestleMania main events is you never know when somebody's done. Like if you would have said WrestleMania 29 is John Cena's last WrestleMania main event, you've been like, no way. But it was.
Right.
Even though he's still there up through, full time through like 2016.
Because he wrestles Bray at 30, Rusev at 31.
Yep. He's injured for 32. He does the bit with The Rock.
That's right.
Against the Wyatt family. 33 is the tag match with Nikki Bella against Miz and Maurice.
Okay. 34
is provoking The Undertaker.
That's right.
And 35, it's him and Elias in the rap segment. And 36 is the Fun House. Doesn't close the show.
Oof.
So yeah, man, it comes quick.
Yeah,
you never know when it's going to be somebody's last WrestleMania main event.
That's right. But I'm very excited to go back to WrestleMania, regardless of what the price tag was. Doesn't matter. But it's definitely going to be worth it. It's going to be fun. I'm excited.
I'm going to say this without blowing your spot up. Big boy purchase.
I'm an adult.
Semicolon. Ballin'.
Nah, I'm an adult, and if I'm going to sit in one place for like an elongated period of time, I'm going to do it on my terms, okay? All I know is we're not waiting anymore. Like, we're just, when the tickets go on sale the first time, we're just going to do it then.
Got to grab them.
You got to grab, yeah. Got to do it. So,
Yeah.
I'm already talking Marcus into maybe making the trip to Cleveland for SummerSlam.
Summer slammed out.
SummerSlammed out, but
Or try not to get Summer slammed out.
that's right. Is there anything else we want to cover?
I think that's it, man. I think that's it. Let us
Sweet.
know if you want us to throw together a I don't know, if you want Adam, me, Brett, maybe Mr. Tim to come in, sit in for sports talk. If you want us to talk round ball, we're getting ready for the playoffs. Teams are fighting for positioning there. So we're getting closer as we head to the middle and end of March. We got March Madness. So this is my favorite time of year as a sports fan. All gears are going, but nah, man, I think that's it.
Perfect. Well, we've already done our plugs. Thank you guys so much for listening. A big shout out to DeWicki, the third man, for being the voice you hear on this podcast every time you listen. We'll be back next week for more fun, more excitement, and more good place, bad place here on Final Wrestling Place. But Marcus, until next time, all that's left is to tell the people goodbye.
Bye, boys.